Welcome back, everybody. This is episode 2, playing as the Central Powers in Strategic Command World War I. And I had a lot of great feedback from many of you who have played the game and gave me some good input. Among that, of course, was the idea that, hey, you should probably just go ahead and start fighting against Belgium now. And, you know, looking at diplomacy, I believe Belgium has now entered the war, so that's not even a question. But they say, you know, you should have done it to begin with. You can kind of push through and take some of those early places, but I didn't do that. Nothing I can do about that now, but we're going to continue this next turn. We are currently on August 15th of 1914. The other thing that many people said was, hey, you've got to try and take Serbia out of the war as quickly as you possibly can. That's going to help bring Bulgaria into the war. See, my thought process had been just kind of hang on with Serbia until Bulgaria enters the war, and then it gets easier to take out Serbia. So I guess we're going to go ahead and try to push through and do those couple of things. And they said, be prepared. If we don't push through and really kind of take it to the offensive against Russia, we're going to have trouble. So going to try to keep those things in mind. Like I said when I began this series with the first episode, I don't know if I'm going to win. This is my first time really playing through as the Central Powers from start to finish, but we're going to have some fun in the process. We're going to talk about a little bit of the history of the war in the process. So let me go ahead and start looking at what we're going to do on this turn, and we'll start with looking on the west, because that's really where I want to start. So in these cases in the west, I'm not going to I am going to go ahead and hit even in situations where the casualties are equal, because I'm trying to break through and get my men through on that side as quickly as I possibly can. Let's see. I'm not sure if we're going to get this guy completely broken through in the first turn or not. I just don't know if we're going to have enough units there to do that. We're going to probably get him down to 1, and then that's going to be it, but that's okay. Just going to keep pushing through here. We're going to push into the Ardennes. Yeah, we're definitely not going to attack there. This turn's mostly just going to be about getting units in position as best I can. We want to keep this straight line as much as possible. I don't want to advance into places like this, even though in this case I'd be able to hit a headquarters, which would really be helpful. I think we're still going to sit tight on this side. All right, and up here with the Navy, what I want to do is I want to start trying to sneak some submarines. I don't really have a lot of submarines yet, but I'm going to start sneaking some submarines, oh boy, up the coast, and we just ran into an enemy destroyer. So we're going to go after that thing, but I want to sneak some submarines up the coast because I want to try and get a little bit of raiding on the supply lines that are going to the Russians. So we can try to choke them a little bit as best we can. But let's go ahead. We're going to send this dreadnought up and hit this destroyer. See, oh yeah, there we go. There we go. So those are the kinds of things we're going to have to do, is look for opportunities to strike and then get away, because we can't take on the full might of the Entente Navy. The best I can do is just kind of stay close and look for those opportunities. Okay, over here in the east, we need to try and build our line right here at Königsberg as best we can, because that's such a strong position right there that I don't want to lose. Of course, I could probably build a line right along here maybe, because I like these fortifications as well, but unfortunately I've got to be advanced a little further out than that. Let's go ahead and reinforce here. I guess we can't. I think these guys might have just come into it. And then same thing here. I've got to look for some opportunities eventually to break out. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to entrench along this line. And then as I'm able to push forward here, that shortens the line that I've got to hold here. And I can bring all of these guys forward to kind of push that line out. But for now, we're not there yet. We've got to back off here, unfortunately. See if we can reinforce this guy. Nope. All right, now down here in the south, let's go ahead and take a look and see what we can do. We've got to try and break through and take Belgrade. There we go. And we're going to need to reinforce quite a few of those guys next turn, if we're able to. Let's get this headquarters out of harm's way as best I can. That's not going to work. We'll go ahead and entrench there for now. All right, up here I want to go ahead and entrench these guys. Since we're kind of building a new line right here, I'm not going to be able to entrench the other units there, and these guys are going to have to be reinforced next turn. But otherwise, I think we're about as far along as we can go. So now we turn to how we're going to spend our points. And I'm looking at research, and some folks gave me some advice on research, and I'm going to try to take those to heart as much as I can. But research is going to take a while, pretty much no matter what I do. Looking at gas and shell production, I'm just curious to see exactly what that'll do. Increases my artillery unit's supply of shells by 1 per friendly turn. Infantry warfare, there's a lot of places I can go with that, but I've got 370 right now. I'm going to go ahead and look at purchasing a new corps for Austria-Hungary. It's going to be expensive, but it's going to arrive, well, not until September, so I don't know. That seems like kind of a bad use of my funds. I feel like maybe research is the way to go right now. Research and reinforcement. So let's go ahead and look. Tank development just is so far probably in the future that I'm not going to worry about that too much. Advanced subs, I don't know. Ground attack weapons, maybe. That might be good for later in the war when we need additional. I think we're going to go with infantry warfare. And maybe trench warfare. I'm also going to do something that may in the long run not work out for me. I'm going to invest a little bit in diplomacy toward trying to put some pressure on Italy to get them toward my side. It may not work out, but maybe, just maybe, it'll at least slow down how quickly Italy jumps in on the war on the side of the Entente, which would still be really helpful. All right, so we're going to advance our turn now. We're going to see what happens with the enemy, what he does on his turn. Baron Conrad von Wagenheim, our ambassador to the Ottoman Empire, reports at Constantinople that the Ottoman army is not yet ready for war and that large sums of money will be need to be spent on it to bring it up to acceptable standards. Wow. That's a lot. I don't know about that. I'm going to say no for now, because it feels like it's going to be a while anyway. Chancellor Konrad von Hotzendorf, the Polish Supreme National Committee are offering their services in our fight against Russia. That I will say yes to. Bulgaria takes an increasing interest in events in Serbia. I hope that's good news, because we took Belgrade. I think maybe that's what they're talking about. Now mobilization is going to continue, so we're going to continue seeing more units. Siberian and Turkestan units arrive in Moscow. They're a little far away to be an issue. The Guben arrives at Pola in the Adriatic. German mobilization continues. Let's see how many new units we get. 3, 4 new corps, 5 new corps. It's a good thing I sent all those other units east, because we're going to be so backed up there anyway. Oh, of all the places for new units to mobilize, they have to go out in front like that. Progress in artillery weapons for the Austro-Hungarians. That was good. All right, here comes the British Navy. Surprisingly, he attacked a dreadnought with a destroyer. That was stupid. So I don't think he knew that's what he was attacking. He just moved a destroyer in, and that's what he encountered was a dreadnought. So far, they've been moving units around the battlefield, but there hasn't been any attacks on any of my lines. Okay, here he comes. Now he's hitting me. And that's one of those brand new corps that just mobilized, and it mobilized in the worst possible spot, and that's why I lost it. That's really frustrating that you don't get to mobilize units behind your lines as they exist. That's just, I guess that serves me right for not mobilizing, or for not having my line a little further forward, I guess. But that's a corps that I never even got to use. So we're starting to see some of these mobilized Russian corps show up a little closer to the front lines. You can hear the trains. That must mean they were arriving by train. Here's a Belgian headquarters. So we're going to have a hard time taking Brussels. Hopefully we can get some of these units around. Antwerp is going to be even tougher, I would imagine. Then there's Ypres, which was one of the places where some of the bloodiest fighting of World War I took place. All right, so not a lot else. He really didn't attack all that much. The fall of Lemberg encourages Romania to swing toward the Entente. That's bad news. French mobilization continues. Russian mobilization continues. And here's some more German. Entente naval units north of Scotland blockade imports to Germany. That's going to be an ongoing issue for me. There's Japan declaring war on the Central Powers. New Zealand sending units to attack some of my colonies. Okay, the Entente's naval blockade of Germany. The enemy may launch a naval blockade to stop neutral shipping bringing goods to our shores. That's one of the things, honestly, that drove Germany to its knees in 1918. Is that ongoing blockade throughout the war just put an incredible amount of pressure on the home front for Germany, and things got really desperate, especially toward the end of the war. So we have to be careful about how we go about breaking that blockade. Let's see. Carrying out unrestricted naval warfare against the UK will be a good way to damage the British economy. Send naval units along the convoy routes. Of course, the problem is that is one of the things that led the U.S. into the war was unrestricted submarine warfare. And there was a lot of fighting within the German high command about whether or not to do that. And of course, the folks who wanted unrestricted submarine warfare won out, but they also brought the U.S. into the war in the process. And the U.S. really got their forces into the war just as the Russian front collapsed. So it kind of really hurt Germany that happened. So here we are, and we've obviously got to move some of these units out of here to get them reformed. And it looks like we'll be able to hit this unit in Brussels, though I don't know that we're going to get enough on them to be able to actually destroy them. But we'll see. We might actually. Not sure we're going to actually be able to take... Yeah, we can take Brussels. Beautiful. Now let's hit that headquarters. Yeah, we're not going to be able to reinforce that unit this time. That's okay. I don't like that unit in Brussels being out there by itself, so we're going to have to get some further strength in here. That's cavalry. That's not the best unit to put on the front lines like that. Let's move these guys forward here. I want to try and keep this line straight as much as I can. Can't always do that everywhere. Can we entrench? No, we can't. I want to get this cavalry off the front line too. We're still going to hold back right here. There's really no reason to hit along this entrenched line. I really want to make my push this way as much as I can and just kind of sit tight along this line. All right, back down to the front with Serbia, we've definitely got some reinforcing to do. And anytime you reinforce like this, you sometimes suffer experience loss. But in this case, this is a unit that didn't have really experience anyway. So not a huge deal there. But some of these, like right there, you're going to see we're going to lose 40% of the experience that we gained. Boy. I think, unfortunately, this is kind of a turn where a lot of this front just has to worry about reinforcing. And then we further the attack next time. I'd like to push these guys down across here, but it doesn't look like it's possible at the moment. Can't really do any other reinforcing right now. And this isn't really an attack I can win there. I'm going to build this battleship. Nope, can't do that either. For the most part, I'm just keeping this Navy in port because I know they're just going to get wrecked if I try to send them out. However, if we can get on this line here, I think we hurt their supply chain. So might be worth throwing something on there to do that. Just got to be careful with which ships I choose to do that. All right, over here on the Russian front, we can pull this unit back, thankfully, before we lose him too. But we've got to start looking at where we can push forward. Oh, beautiful. Almost got that guy taken out. Just couldn't quite do it. And I can't get any further there. That's too bad. But anywhere we can attack and inflict more casualties than we take, it's worth it. I'm going to push this cavalry unit up here. Oh man, so close. Okay, you know what? I'm going to get a little greedy here, just because I want to take out that unit. I'm afraid to push forward anymore, at least on this turn. We can add some elite reinforcements to this guy. Like to build this artillery unit up if I can. All right, we're going to sit tight there. And I'm not entirely sure. Oh, yeah, that's working. A lot of these Russian, especially the Russian cavalry units, are not real powerful. Ah, he got away, darn it. Okay. And we can't reinforce this guy, but we can try to pull him back. And protect them the best we can. All right, not a lot else I can do there. I want to look at diplomacy for a second because I want to see. We haven't pushed Italy one way or the other, but at least they're not leaning any further toward them. Bulgaria's at 54%, so taking Belgrade did push Bulgaria closer toward my side. The Netherlands is at 25% toward my side. Let's take a look and see. I don't think we lost any corps that. Well, we lost one Austro-Hungarian corps that we can go ahead and replace. Oh, no, we can't. We've only got 8 available because we used a lot of them to upgrade. What about German? I don't think we have any missing corps there. We've got 317 available points. I'm going to put another one into... It's a lot of points, but it's worth it if I keep Italy out of the war, even for a time. And I've got enough German units in the field right now, so I'm not too worried about that. And then let's look at research. Let's put another one into trench warfare. And I think we'll sit tight with the rest of those points from there. Belgium moves their government to Antwerp since we took Brussels. Antwerp's going to be a tough nut to crack. It's going to be tough to get up in there and hit them with that fortification. But we're going to try to push through, take Antwerp. That'll be a key. Polish Legion has been raised to fight in Austria-Hungary, and then we'll go ahead and get in there and reinforce that unit just as soon as we can. Looks like the Serbians are getting some more units. Entente naval units north of Scotland blockade imports to Germany. Entente naval units blockade imports to Germany in the North Sea. So as expected, the Entente's going to send their navy to try and deal with the people that I put in the way here. I kind of expected that would happen. And I don't know that I'm going to be able to long-term stop what's happening here. So the main thing I need to do is push through Serbia as quick as I can. So Serbia is interesting because they actually were a lot larger by the time the war broke out than they were historically. There have been 2 wars that have been fought down here in the Balkans in the few years leading up to World War I. And Serbia had gained some territory as a result of those wars. They'd taken territory from the Ottomans. I think the second Balkan War was started by Bulgaria, and basically everybody ganged up on Bulgaria. So that's one of the reasons why we're expecting Bulgaria is going to join our side in the war, is because, you know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and they're going to want some revenge on Serbia, and this is going to be an opportunity for them to do that. So as they see me taking territory in Serbia, they're going to decide they want to be a part of that. All right, we just got to hold the line here. We're going to lose this unit, especially since it's not entrenched. Oh, maybe not. He can't get anybody else at it. Oh, jeez. That must have been... No, maybe that is where I left them. I don't know. These cavalry units aren't the best for frontline service like this. He's going to throw everything he can at that unit. They're just kind of helping me hold the line. I've got to throw another unit in here to kind of stem the last part of his advance. Good. I want you to move your guys in front of your fortifications and hit mine. We got to get a unit up in here. Yeah, we're going to start bogging down here soon because we're going to have pretty full front lines on both sides. Just got to look for places we can breach. Alright, so it looks like Albania is preparing for a war now. Russia continues to get mobilization. The blockade continues. Fear of German raiders upsets trade from the British Empire. That's good news. So we've got to look and see Albania. I would guess Albania probably joining the Entente, but let's take a look at diplomacy real quick. Oh, we've got a new sub. That's good. That's going to be helpful. Let's throw it right here because we're going to go up there and try to disrupt the Russians with that. Let's look at this diplomacy real quick. All right, yeah, they're 99% on the side of joining with Russia. So let's take a look. That's right here. That's Albania right there. So that's certainly not going to help our cause at all when that happens. But we didn't lose any units that turn, so that's a big deal. That's very helpful. All right, first things first, we need to look at units that we want to reinforce versus attack with. And none of these particularly look like good places to go. That's frustrating. But what we're going to do is we're just going to try to get around this guy if we can. And it doesn't look like we can. So let's just go ahead and reinforce. And then eventually we'll start making our attacks. I can't reinforce and entrench. That's a tricky part. Okay, and we're not going to attack down there at all. So let's look up here. We're going to move this guy over here, and we're finally going to seal off our right flank on this side. What I want to do now is, I hope I've got enough points. We might have to start sending some points from the Germans over to the Austro-Hungarians. because we're running out of points to be able to reinforce with. We might be able to take this guy out. Yep. Beautiful. There we go. Shattered another Russian unit. The more we can do that, the better. Let's reinforce. Do we have? We don't have the points to reinforce this thing. Well, we reinforced it some, but that runs me out. So we're going to have to start giving some points over. There we go. Let's destroy another Russian unit. Now, if I can keep doing that, I want to be able to start advancing right here. Oh, that's no good. That is. Nice. So we're going to start pushing this line forward as much as we can. I'll go to right there, though. I don't want to go any further. But I want to get this extended to here so we have one long continuous line, and then we can start pushing the whole line forward. That's the plan anyway. I don't think we'll hit there. Not where we got even odds. I'd rather just kind of sit tight with those. All right, let's look over here now. Antwerp's going to be a tough nut to crack. But the first thing I want to do is I want to start getting units up here. Hold on, let's see. Oh, yeah. Of course, now this gives me a bit of a disadvantage because I've got this unit right here that's only got 6, and I don't think... I might be able to get some people out in front of him. I don't think there's going to be anywhere here we want to attack. We'll hit that one just because anytime I've... Ooh, that didn't work out the way they predicted it would. I lost 3 and he lost 2. There we go. We might be able to do this. Oh, it's going to be close. Oh, we can't. Darn it. Oh, we can do it there. Nope. Okay. Well, that one's going to survive, but that's okay. Let's look for people we can reinforce now. And a lot of these units I used in the attack, so I'm not going to be able to reinforce with them. That's a good hit. Yeah, we definitely need to donate some of our points from Germany to the Austro-Hungarians so they can keep everybody reinforced, or they're going to be really thin on that side. I think everybody's good elsewhere. So what we'll eventually be able to do is hopefully we can cut Antwerp off from everybody else, and that should make it easier to assault and take that fortification. Then we're going to have the same problem with Ypres. That's going to be a difficult one, I think, to take. Or maybe I'm just overthinking it because historically that was such a difficult battlefield. Let's take a look at diplomacy, see if anything has changed. Italy's still 0. I'm content for them to stay completely neutral and just not join either side. Bulgaria's 54%, Netherlands 25%, Portugal there, Romania, those are 2 that might come in on the opposite side. Completely off topic, but I just think this is really cool. If you click on a capital, it gives you music. Click on Berlin. Same tune, different words. How about Vienna? That's nice. How about Rome? What do we get with Rome? All right, let's try Moscow. I'm kind of curious about what... Well, it's not Moscow. It'd be St. Petersburg, wouldn't it? Yeah. Petrograd. Anyway, I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah, we might as well do Stockholm. I guess we just get traffic noises there. Okay, so we've got 400 points left for the Germans. We're going to definitely give some of those over to the Austro-Hungarians. I think this is where we do that. Not entirely sure. It's been a while since I've done it. But all right, let's look at the Navy for just a minute down here. We're going to have some heavy losses on both sides, but I really want to take out this dreadnought if I can. That's not the way to do it, though. All right. I'm looking at my production table because we can see what's going to be coming down the road that I don't have to purchase or that I've already purchased. And this is where you can see some of those things. You can see here I've got 2 more corps coming on the next turn for Germany. Looks like we've got some more subs coming, some more naval vessels coming as well. And then you get up into January and it mostly becomes about the Navy. Austria-Hungary, not a lot coming. We've got 1 corps coming on the next turn. And then a dreadnought coming in November, and that's about it right now. The Ottomans have very little coming. I think I'm going to go ahead with Germany and buy some artillery. So let's go ahead and at least purchase 1 of those. It'll come in November. Okay, so the most we can send to Austria-Hungary from Germany is 10% of our MPPs, which would be 37. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I think it'll do them more good than it will me. Beyond that, I think that's about all we're going to do on this turn. So let's go ahead and see what happens. All right, he's hitting me pretty hard here, and I'm probably gonna lose a corps unless he completely runs out of anybody that can fight through there. Looks like we might just escape with both of those corps intact. I think I'll probably start bringing all of this forward if we can deal with this guy here in Lotz. He's really going on the offensive in some of these places. There, I lost a corps. I don't know that this 1 cavalry unit down here is going to be enough. We've got to get this Polish unit up to the front lines down here in the mountains. And we'll have to start really putting some pressure on the Russians and other places. When this turns over, I want to look at the strength numbers, see how many divisions we're dealing with on both sides. See how we're stacking up, because we can't see what's behind those lines. We don't know how thin these front lines are for him. All right, we've got 2 new corps available to us. We're also going to need to purchase replacements for the ones that we just lost. All right, good news is we can plug 1 in right there. And we can drop another one in right here, so that'll be helpful. We've got an Austro-Hungarian corps available to us. Where can we throw them that they'll be the most helpful? I think probably down here right now. So let's see where we're at with everything. I want to look at diplomacy first. Nothing new with Italy. Bulgaria has only moved up by about 3%. The Netherlands, all pretty negligible. Looks like Portugal's probably next to join in. The other thing I want to look at real quick is research. Artillery weapons about halfway. Well, that's the Austro-Hungarians. And nothing real close. I want to look at the reports real quick. Let's look at losses and see where things stand. I want to look at, well, I don't care about detailed. I just want to see the overall. So Russia has the most losses. They've lost 5 corps. UK's lost 2. France 1. Serbia 1. Austria-Hungary 2. So really we have kind of done our jobs as far as that goes. But let's look at strength. That's a greater concern. Russia's got 72 units now, compared to 53 for Germany, 27 for Austria-Hungary, 72 for France, or 32 for France. So 104 combined for France and Russia alone, compared to far less for me. The good news is, I think, and look at the UK, they've got 24 naval units, 13 for France. I should be stronger, especially over the Russians. But that's the good bit of news with all of this. Let's see if we can get around this guy and hit him on a side where he doesn't have units to hit me with. Try to get around his fortifications if I can. I don't think we're going to be able to get enough here to finish him off. Nope, not quite. But we do have him cut off now. I'm a little hesitant to move forward there. I think maybe we'll bring this unit down. Get reinforced over here. Beautiful. Another Russian unit down. So we're going to start inching forward here. Not sure we're going to be able to swap that guy. No, that's okay. As long as we're taking out Russian units that he won't be able to replace in the long term, that'll be good news. Let's see if we can get... Yep, perfect. Okay. Moving the ball ever so slightly forward. But that's kind of the goal here. Can't reinforce because I've already used that guy. What about on the Austro-Hungarian line? Nice. I don't think we'll move forward there. Although, I could get up here and finish that unit off. So let's do it. Okay, we're just trying to hold the line there, plug in a gap. Let's get these guys entrenched. Yeah, I think we're going to keep them back. Really not a lot I can do here until we get some additional units on the line. How about down here? We've really got to make a move. We've got to start pressing forward. There we go. Even though that puts me up against 3 units here, I wanted to be able to take that territory. I'm going to hit that headquarters. I'm just counting on the fact these guys won't be able to replace their losses as good as I can. I don't know if that's the case or not, but we're going to keep pressing that attack as much as we can. Let's pull this dreadnought back so we don't lose it. Oh, come on. How did I make enemy contact trying to move away? We're going to keep that blocked as best we can. Alright, let's look at the Western Front. See what we can do here. We've got a number of units that are really close to being lost. So we've got to be careful. I could try to pull some of them out. But some of them I'm just going to have to reinforce where they are. I'm going to start trying to wear down Antwerp the best I can. I don't think I can get these guys out of there. Looking for any place I can attack where I can inflict more losses than I take. I don't want to move up there, that's for sure. So let's go ahead and look at the purchase units screen now, because we can get some inexpensive replacements by repurchasing the units that we lost. Germany hasn't lost any recently, so we purchased that additional core for Austria-Hungary, and that puts us down to 82 for them. I've still got 196 available for the Germans. So, boy, I don't know where I want to invest that right now. I might just want to save it, because I have a feeling we're going to suffer some lost core here. The only other thing I have left to do is to work on naval units and see if I can get some subs up on this line to try and start disrupting commerce for the Russians. I'm just going to try to hug the shore as best I can with these units. I don't know if that's the way to go or not. It's just kind of the strategy that I've thought of might be the best in this situation, because I definitely don't want to get myself into a situation where I end up with a major naval engagement with the enemy. But if I can take out some of his units like this, we'll certainly give it a try. Every little bit helps. Oh no, I went right over those mines. I should have been a little more diligent in directing the exact line that I wanted them to take, so that didn't happen. We're gonna have to bring that light cruiser back. Mainly just, I'm concerned about the subs. Those are what I want to really get up there. But I'm sending a few other vessels as well, just because I don't know what I might face. Let's get this guy built back up. It's expensive, but probably worth it. I thought I had another sub over here, but I guess I already sent them out. Let's send a destroyer as well. Alright, I think that's pretty much all I'm going to do this turn. No, didn't mean to do that. Wanted to keep him there. Okay. Yeah, I think that's probably it. We'll go ahead and move this guy a little bit forward, and then that'll probably be it for this turn. So interesting, he's actually pulling back a little bit in Serbia. And it looks like the Russians, I thought maybe they were pulling back too, but they were just trying to make room for other units. But I think really on the Eastern Front, we're going to be kind of pushing an all-out offensive at this point. This is our opportunity. The Russian units aren't real strong. And toe-to-toe, a German corps definitely should be able to have an edge on the average Russian corps. We've got Lotz surrounded here. We're going to be able to destroy that unit, I think. And then we can hopefully start pushing forward. He did reinforce his unit over in Antwerp, which I was afraid he'd be able to do. I didn't know if I can cut that one off completely, maybe he won't be able to fully reinforce it. But as of now, he did. Oh boy, here he comes. The good news is there aren't a lot of spots where he's being able to actually take out core of mine. And of course I spoke too soon when I said that, because there he just did it. But that's the main thing, is I want to be destroying more of his core than he destroys of mine. Looks like he's going to destroy one of mine there, though. Remind me never to say stuff out loud like that again. Because no sooner did I say it than he's going to take out like 3 or 4 of my core on this turn. Ah, that's brutal. We've just got to stop getting units out in front like that. But I got greedy, and I paid for it. I really just need to kind of settle in on the west and really push the southeast and the east as much as I can. We hold Brussels, I mean, so that's a start. All right, so Canada is sending troops to Europe. We lost 3 core on that turn, which hurts, but we're going to try to make it back. We've got some new airships here. The main offensive right now is on the east, so I think that's where I'm going to put these. Reserve Corps, same thing. Let's go ahead and stick that over here somewhere that we can try to plug these gaps. New headquarters. That has to go over here a little closer to our main lines. The Ottomans have a new unit. Okay, so let's take a look and see where we are. Diplomacy first. Still nothing with Italy. Bulgaria didn't move. So what we're going to need is we're going to need some events to happen that push those things to go one way or the other. So, no good spot there. Right there, I guess, is the only good spot. I'm not crazy about that at all, especially since there's a headquarters right there. Let's pull this unit back. Okay, now we can push. Now we can't push forward. Darn it. Okay. Cavalry's not really any good for doing that. Mainly, the Austro-Hungarians just need to kind of hold the line on their side while we push forward with the Germans. I was hoping I could hit him with someone else, but I guess not. Let's get this unit just reinforced. Guess we'll attack this way to destroy that unit. Beautiful. Take them back. Take that back and then move back up here again. This is probably the turn where we're going to wrap up for this episode. I'd love to attack that guy, but I think we're just going to reinforce instead. All right, that was good. Beautiful. All right, let's keep pushing the line forward here. Oh, that one just joined. It can't do anything yet. Darn it. I was hoping to finish that guy off. Oh, we can do it with the cavalry. Okay, so some good things happening over here on the Eastern Front. Not perfect, but good. Oh, I think we're just going to sit tight there. I don't want to do anything that would be counterproductive. All right, let's look down here. Oh, that isn't particularly helpful. That's not going to do anything. Just going to reinforce these guys. He doesn't have anything on that side, so let's just reinforce here. Reinforce these guys. It's slow going down here. I wish it was going a little better, but we'll take what we can get. Let's see if we can take out this light cruiser. I'm going to try to pull this guy back as far as I can. Can't reinforce him on the same turn. All right, we're going to wrap it up right there. We still have to deal with the Western Front on this turn. There's a lot still to be done, but let me know your thoughts about all of that, and we will be back in a couple of days with another episode. Thanks for watching.